Hello and welcome back to another episode on the channel by me, the Wise James. In this, I'm just reacting to a video by Foley on YouTube. You can see his name there. Oh, you can't. But if you just search him on YouTube, this is about Battlefield, basically, and the Call of Duty streamers. And look, I've been playing first-person shooting games since Unreal Tournament, Medal of Honor Allied Assault, original Counter-Strike, Duke Nukem, sort of Quake. I'm an ancient first-person shooter player, and I have a lot of things to say about this. So let's watch the video, and we'll see what I have to say. All right, enjoy.
Guys, I knew this day was coming, man. I knew it from the start that Battlefield 6 would eventually hurt all of these Call of Duty coping fanboys. There's like two groups of them. There's one group that can't fathom the fact that Battlefield 6 is highly successful currently. And then there's the other group that thinks, for whatever reason, that if Battlefield 6 doesn't play like Call of Duty, then it won't be good. And I don't know if it's like the lack of brain cells or what, but they just can't understand the fact that they're two different games that play differently and they're supposed to play.
That's right. That's fucking right. They are two different games, okay? Call of Duty is basically like a closed quarter Fortnite game. You're in a small map. You haven't got vehicles. You haven't got helicopters. You haven't got jets. You haven't got tanks. You haven't got like road cars to fly around in. Yes, they did Warzone, but there were so many cheaters. Like, nobody wants to play a game with a bunch of people who are cheating. Like, nobody. So all these streamers, what they've done is ruined their own game. So the one game that they all like and play and make money from, they've ruined. They literally ruined their own game by cheating. Like, at one point, football was getting ruined by something called diving, where you don't get fouled, but you pretend you are fouled to get a free kick. So you get like Cristiano Ronaldo would drop to the ground pretending he'd been hit by a bus, except no one had even touched him. Like,
differently, so trying to kill whore and do all this shit that you can do in Call of Duty, all of that cringe shit, you can't really do it in Battlefield 6.
I've been really enjoying all these Call of Duty losers like demanding all the Call of Duty features like kill streaks and stuff. Like, I actually am looking forward to a battle royale because I think a Battlefield battle royale would be the best battle royale we've ever seen in our lives. But it doesn't need it. It would be fun, and I'm certainly going to do it if they have it, but we don't need it. Battlefield's just different to Call of Duty. It's a man's game. It's not some bunch of kids running around as a cartoon, bunny hopping with machine guns, like, and exploits and hacks. It's just not that game. It's a first person shooting war game, right? And in war games, you haven't got Beavis and Butthead, Peter Griffin, and fucking, I don't know, Ninja Turtles flying around. It's soldiers. It's soldiers in an army fighting a war, right? That's the game. If you don't want to play it, fuck off.
And that's okay, man, because it's a different game. It's not Call of Duty. But guys, I knew I had to talk about this.
It's because it's not Call of Duty that everyone wants to play it. In all honesty, when Verdansk came out, I bought Call of Duty. Like, you can see it on my desktop here, actually, if I showed you here. Right, I've got Call of Duty. It's right there. I've got Call of Duty. I bought it, to test it out, see what I thought. And honestly, I got bored within the first day of it. I think the zombie mode was more fun than the actual multiplayer mode. Like, I obviously I haven't played Call of Duty since probably Modern Warfare 2007, because it just went downhill from there. And I just don't understand why you all love it. Like, it's shit. It's boring. You're doing the same thing, running around in the same circle every fucking day. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. On Battlefield 2042, people hate the game, but I can walk on there and I could be in a tank, I could be in a helicopter, I could be in a jet, I could use a wingsuit, I could set up a turret with a ballistic shield and a robotic dog with a machine gun and just sit there. Like, you can do anything you want on Battlefield. You can just run around with a shotgun. You can run around with a machine gun. You can be in vehicles. You can camp flags. You can camp as a sniper. You know, it's not the same circle. It's a big, massive map where you can literally do loads of cool shit. Call of Duty is just the same thing over and over and over again, and people get tired of it. The only people who don't get tired of it are the people who are making money from it. That's it. Everyone else is tired of it. We're fucking. I was tired of Call of Duty in 2007.
As soon as I saw this tweet from FaZe Swag a couple of weeks ago where he said, Battlefield putting belt to ass. Holy, it looks turnt. And I just knew this was not going to age very well for this guy in particular.
Look, I've been playing Battlefield 2042 for 3 years, okay? I'm a bit biased. I'm a Battlefield player. But I didn't pre-order. I was going to wait until they gave me a reason to pre-order. And, you know, I watched the streamers at their weekend in America before the beta, like Squidgy and Jack Frags and all these people. And I saw enough evidence from those streams for me to buy the game. I had bought the game and pre-ordered it, the Phantom Edition, before the beta had even started. Because I was that confident it was going to be a better game than 2042, and I was already playing 2042. The only reason this game will fail is if they let cheaters and hackers win. It's the only way.
Because holy shit, the takes that I've seen from him are absolutely fucking putrid. And I'm gonna get into everything right now, but before I do, please slap the fucking sense into these Call of Duty fanboys by smacking the fucking like button and subscribe if you're new. Guys, the channel's been doing fucking incredible lately. Let's keep that shit going. And don't forget, on Monday, we got the Scat Master meet and greet to celebrate 50,000 subscribers. Be there.
Congratulations, mate. There's literally thousands of videos on all these Call of Duty losers crying about being shit on Battlefield because, you know, they're not actually very good at games. They just cheat and use exploits and software to pretend they're good at games so children watch them and pay them money. Just think about that for a second. These people lie to children about how good they are at games to get money from them. It's honestly, all these Call of Duty people have made me second guess wanting to be a streamer. I'm not even going to be a streamer like them. I don't want to be like them. I've decided that the internet is like TV. So I'm going to make my own program, and I'm going to use the platforms to do it. And every week I will have my own programs. I'll have a political program. I'll have a gaming program. I'll have a science program. I don't want to be like these guys whose whole life revolves around one game. I like gaming. I'm going to game. I'm going to play video games. I'm going to stream it. But I don't want that to be my whole life, because imagine if you can't play that game because no one else is playing it, your career is over. Like, imagine you set up a business for 5 years, and then the only thing you're doing is playing Call of Duty, and then it turns out Call of Duty is shit, no one wants to play it. Well, your entire business is fucked, isn't it? You have no business. Nobody's going to watch it. No matter what you do with Call of Duty, people wouldn't watch it because people don't want to see Call of Duty. So, I'd like to thank all these Call of Duty losers for showing me not to waste my time being a streamer on just one game. I'm going to stream lots of Battlefield 6. I was always going to stream lots of Battlefield 6, but I've decided, thanks to these losers, that I will diversify my content. I'm not just going to have only Battlefield content. It's going to be lots of things. So, no matter what happens, I always have other things to focus on. Because I can't be asked to have my entire life revolve around a game. That just seems a bit sad to me. Seems a bit sad.
For the live stream, you're not going to want to miss it. Guys, this is what we got from FaZe Swag a couple of days ago. He says, Call of Duty players ruined Battlefield 6, and then he goes in just saying the most...
No, they didn't. They tried to. They've tried to ruin it, but what we did was make an example of them. We showed how bad they are at shooting. We showed how bad they are at movement. We showed that without their software, that they're just noobs. They're literally just noobs. That's what we all did.
Nonsensical garbage slop that you could possibly fucking imagine. And I've seen a couple of people talk about this, like this one guy, Klutzy King 552. This was a fantastic video in my opinion, but Unfortunately, he's not a SCAD master, so you kind of need the big dogs for this type of shit. We need somebody who is ignorant, somebody who's arrogant, somebody who's annoying, knows how to rage bait, play.
I can do those things. I'm ignorant. Check. What was the other one? Annoying. Yeah, check. Knows how to rage bait. Meh. I just annoy people. I don't try.
Who is ignorant, somebody who's arrogant, somebody who's
Arrogant? I'm not arrogant, you see. But you would think I'm arrogant because I'm so confident. You would mistake my confidence for arrogance because you wouldn't understand it had foundation. So you would think I'm arrogant, but I actually have very damn good reasons why I'm so confident. So it's not unfounded. So unfortunately, 3 out of 4. That's all I got, boys.
annoying, knows how to rage bait, plays Call of Duty, like...
Oh, plays Call of Duty, yeah. I have played Call of Duty. I don't play it. I played it up online, the Call of Duty 6. Overall, I must have played less than 15 hours on Call of Duty 6. On Battlefield 2042, probably over 10,000 hours. Probably maybe 100,000 hours. Maybe more. So yeah, maybe not the guy you're looking for. Bloody adverts.
What do you think that combination is? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. It is 8 thoughts, but okay, let's pretend he has hair. Who is it? Bingo, there we go. You need the motherfucking SCAD master. Guys, I'm right here for the job. Let's fuck this shit up right now.
I don't really understand the gatekeeping on Battlefield 6 and just Battlefield as a community in general. Because I promise you, us as Call of Duty players have never gatekeeping any Call of Duty, even the good ones.
4 fucking seconds! It took you 4 fucking seconds to piss me off again!
So one of the first things out of FaZe Swag's mouth when it comes to Battlefield 6 is that he doesn't understand the gatekeeping that is currently existent because
we want to protect a game we love, okay? So what Call of Duty did was, when they started losing player base, because people get sick, you know? People get tired of doing the same shit over and over again, and they move on. And games companies lose money. So what they did was, they tried to appeal to a new customer base, right? You got to remember, back in the day, Call of Duty was like a 15-plus game. So first of all, you had to be at least 15 to play it. You didn't have kids playing it. The only kid playing it was 15, 16, 17-year-olds, right? There was no 10-year-old. There was no 11-year-old. That's illegal. That's a crime. They're not allowed to play it, okay? So what these Call of Duty idiots did was try to appeal to other groups, like younger people and women and, you know, basically people who aren't their player base. And by appealing to these new player bases, they alienated their core base. Because the core base of Call of Duty players were sweaty, grinding all day, headshots while sliding, fucking kill streak guys, okay? They weren't, I need a Nicki Minaj skin and I'm streaming to 10,000 people and need to look good kind of people. So when you start appealing to the streamers on Call of Duty rather than your core players, you've killed the game. You've killed your own game. Because it was already... Things die over time. You need to accept that. So Battlefield will have the same problem. Over time, its player base will go down. And they have to do things to try and make it jump back up. You can either do that by appealing to your core base, or you can appeal to new players. But if you appeal to new players in a way that your core players don't like, they're going to leave the game. So you haven't raised it, you've lowered it. It's a dangerous game. And what Call of Duty did was they changed their game from a decent first-person shooting game into this kid's cartoon game. It's weak. It's pathetic. It's not a man's shooting game. Call of Duty and Battlefield used to be men's shooting games. You literally had to be legally a man to play them. You know, you didn't have 14, 13, 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds. They're not legally allowed to play the game. So why did Call of Duty appeal to them? It's all about the money, innit? They care more about the money than the product. And because of that, they haven't got a product, they have no money.
Battlefield fans clearly do not want the same garbage AI slop, that cringy shit that goes on in Call of Duty. They just don't want it to seep into Battlefield 6. And he also says, very interestingly enough, that Call of Duty has never gatekept anything from any other community, which I don't know why we would, considering our games are fucking dog shit. What is there to gatekeep? Hey guys, you want to be a virgin? Sorry, you can only do that here in Call of Duty. Also, it doesn't really work to gatekeep anything when your game literally copies other video games. I mean, Call of Duty's literally trying to be fucking Fortnite, so what is there exactly?
I would like to point out at this point that leaning round a corner, like this, was from Medal of Honor. That's from Medal of Honor. From Medal of Honor Allied Assault, one of the best first-person shooting games of all time. And it was actually the Counter-Strike of the world before Counter-Strike. It was Quake after Quake, okay? Medal of Honor Allied Assault was Battlefield and Call of Duty before Battlefield and Call of Duty existed, okay? It's the original. And do you know who bought Medal of Honor? EA. And they ended up making Medal of Honor 2010, as you all know, which destroyed the franchise. And ever since then, they focused on Battlefield. And it just so happens in this Battlefield, it's more like Medal of Honor than any game I've ever played. The leaning around a corner, the grenade launchers, the style of it. If you look at Medal of Honor 2010 and Battlefield 6, it's almost as if Battlefield 6 is the 2025 version of 2010 Medal of Honor. It's similar style, similar artwork. Like, the movement's obviously far better. You know, it's not as buggy. That's the reason that failed as well. Same as 2042, released with bugs. But, you know, on Medal of Honor 2010, I was actually number one in Britain on there. I was top of the leaderboard on PC. When I stopped using PC, I became top of the leaderboard on Xbox and then PlayStation. I loved that game. I've always been a massive Medal of Honor fan. And let me tell you, this Battlefield, it's more like Medal of Honor than Battlefield 2042. And some of you would think that's a bad thing, but they've done a really good job. They've done a really, really good job. It's absolutely visually stunning. I like it. I like it. The leaning around the corner aspect isn't exactly the same. You see, on Medal of Honor, you could do it at any time. You could lean at any time. So you had people like acting like a worm, trying to dodge bullets. And it worked, you know, sometimes. It was great fun. Two people just dancing around, wiggling, trying to avoid bullets, like they were both Neo from the Matrix. So yeah, it's almost like EA finally did a good job on Medal of Honor, and then they called it Battlefield. Sue me.
Exactly to be gatekept, man. Moving around like a fucking senseless virgin. I guess people don't want that shit in Battlefield. If we wanted to play that way, if we wanted to see that cringy garbage, guess where you can do it?
Thank you, sir, for using the word cringy rather than cringe. That is correct English. You are rare among Americans.
Take a guess. I mean, hey, it's not rocket science. It's a pretty easy fucking answer. You want that cringy Call of Duty shit? Play Call of Duty. It's that simple. Yeah. So this entire thing about gatekeeping, I just think it's cope. Also, it's not like we got the fucking...
Coping. But okay, I'll let you off. I haven't corrected all the Americans on that one yet. I'll get to that one.
Police on you, like, monitoring how you play Battlefield 6. Like, yeah, people are gonna make fun of you. They're gonna tell you it's cringe, but by all means, man, play how the fuck you want. But if you get flamed...
He said cringy right, and then he said it's wrong. How could you go from using cringy right in 2 sentences to then using the word cringy wrong and say cringe? My God, bro. You Americans really struggle with English.
For playing like a Call of Duty simp, then brother, embrace your identity, alright? Now, on the topic of gatekeeping, FaceSwag did have this tweet a couple of weeks ago where he said, "In 13 years of doing content, I have never seen so many people gatekeep a game, let alone Battlefield. I pulled out a knife to run during the reveal and got death threats." Now, as the Scat Master, it is my responsibility to tell you right now, if you're sending death threats in any fucking way, you're a fucking dumbass. Don't do it. Be smarter than these Call of Duty fans.
Yeah, as much as some of these Call of Duty losers are virgins and idiots, don't send them death threats. Like, If you send someone a death threat, you're worse than a Call of Duty hacker by like a million miles. You're literally as bad almost as a rapist. Like, except you're probably even more of a coward than a rapist if you send death threats to people. Like, if you're gonna threaten someone, you have to threaten them in their face, look them in the eye, and do it. Don't be a fucking pussy and do it behind a screen. That's just cowardly. That is.
Fanboys, all right? But let's keep this shit going, man.
Somebody said, how about you play Battlefield the right way? If the only rebuttal you have is play the
You're not gonna believe what happened.
Well, you can either play the right way or the wrong way. It's quite simple, isn't it?
objective, bro. I mean, I guess, bro. I'm not.
Look, in Battlefield, okay, here's the thing. This is what streamers don't get because a lot of them are selfish Call of Duty players. So they're always thinking about their kill-death ratio. They're not thinking about winning the match because they think killing people and not dying will win the match. It won't. This is Battlefield. In Battlefield, you need the objective. If you don't do the objective, you lose. Okay? There is one game type for Call of Duty players they should like, and that is Team Deathmatch, because that depends on your kill-death ratio, right? That's fine. But if you're in Conquest, or Rush, or Breakthrough, or King of the Hill, you need to get the objective to win the match. And if you don't get the objective, you've caused your team to lose. That's like being a footballer, and instead of, running around trying to get the ball off them, you just stand on the goal line, waiting for the ball to come into the box, so you can tap it in and pretend you're the hero. That's what you're doing. So, all these Call of Duty players who come onto Battlefield, you need to learn, if you don't play the objective, you will cost your team the round, you will lose, you'll be a loser, and you'll be a double loser, because you caused your team to lose by being a loser. And if you're a streamer, people will watch you do this, and will know how bad you are of a loser. Like, do you really want to be, like, the worst losers in first-person shooting history because you wait for people to run into your scopes and use hacks and glitches instead of just working with your team and doing the fucking job, doing the objective? See, you guys are the sort of people who will let your team die so that you could kill the person who killed them, rather than run in front of them so you could die so they could capture the objective. Like, you're a selfish video game player. That's what you are.
I'm not going there and resing you. I'm a COD player, bro. I ain't a medic.
So
there is times when you don't need to res in Battlefield, If you're going to die and you can't res them without dying and you wouldn't get the res off, you don't need to revive them. The only time you actually need to revive them is if you can. If you can revive them, you should, because you're saving your team a lot of trouble. But if you can't revive them, you can't revive them. They will get angry that you didn't try sometimes, but you do have to look after yourself as a soldier. That's some of the choices you'll have to make. I don't revive every single chance I get. I'll revive those I can revive who are safe to revive. If someone's lying in front of an enemy tank, dead, I'm not going to run out of cover and then go and revive them, because I would die as well. There's then two people to revive. No. There's people on Battlefield 2042 who will wait next to my vehicle, dead, pressing the revive button, and I've gotten out to revive them, being killed, and the enemy team takes the vehicle. Then your entire team is at a disadvantage because they have an extra vehicle because you did that. Now, these things happen. You're going to have to make decisions with risk. Some of them have a lot of risk. Some of them only have a little risk. Battlefield, you're going to have to make decisions. It's tactical. It's literally tactical. It's not reaction-based. Reactions are a part of it. But you're going to need to literally decide whether to go this way or that way. You're going to need to decide whether to trick them or face them head on. You're going to need to decide to use this vehicle or use that vehicle. It's tactical. It's not reaction sweaty based.
I find this ironic because, when people tell him to play the right way and he's like, well, how do you play the right way? And then people tell him, play the objective, because it's not just kill whoring like it is in Call of Duty. First of all,
that's literally all you need to do to be a good Battlefield player, is play the objective. That's all you need to do. You could die like 20 times and get one kill, But if you play the objective the entire round and kept reviving your teammates, you would still be near the top of the board. Like, everyone gets points for everything they do. Like, reviving, repairing, even for using smoke to help cover your teammates. You get smoke assists. You get points for everything you contribute. Like, kill-death ratio is for Call of Duty players. If anyone ever cares about your kill-death ratio, you can guarantee they're a Call of Duty player. When someone complains that you're not getting the objective, Battlefield player.
Response is okay, I guess, which is literally the definition of just coping. And number two, he goes on this whole thing about him not being a medic and that he doesn't want to play that way, although he's literally playing as a medic. And on top of that, later on in the video, he literally gets mad at a medic for not reviving him.
That's a new Special Olympics record, folks!
You know what, for his sake, maybe playing Battlefield 6 might like regenerate brain cells. Because he's lost quite a few playing Call of Duty, because that was just some of the dumbest shit I've ever goddamn heard in my entire goddamn life. And then, to absolutely nobody's surprise, he starts talking about kill streaks in Battlefield 6.
I think Battlefield should have kill streaks. Thoughts, everybody?
Oh my gosh.
Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you want kill streaks in Battlefield 2 if you don't.
Look, I know there's about to be a ton of cope on this specific point right here, because a lot of people really do want kill streaks in Battlefield 6. And I'm not even saying it wouldn't be like an interesting addition. I suppose there might be a way to kind of incorporate it, but at that point, you're doing it for one purpose. You want it to play and feel and be like Call of Duty, but that's just not what Battlefield is. And again, I need to reiterate this point. If we wanted kill streaks and we wanted the shit that is in Call of Duty, then play Call of Duty. This is coming from a COD player too. I know Swag was just talking about how he feels disrespected by the Battlefield community. Brother, I'm part of your community, and I'm telling you, leave it over there. If I want kill streaks, I'm gonna play COD. If I want this badass all-out war thing, then I'm gonna play Battlefield 6, man. That's what it is. There's even people online talking about how, you know what, Swag has a point here. And then they go on and just like alphabet soup, man. There's too many fucking words, alright?
I hate waiting.
Hey, look, this is coming from a COD fan, you already know. This is too many words for my brain to comprehend. You're gonna have me glitching if I keep reading this shit.
I heard someone yesterday call a 20-minute video a saga. Like, I didn't realize that the attention span of the world had become so bad that a 20-minute video was a saga. Now, this is a 27-minute video. There's no way any of you lot are going to watch this, so I'm going to make it. I'm going to put it online, but like, I'll have to shorten my videos because nobody has the attention span anymore for a genuine human-like reaction. They want fucking instant fast food, instant Amazon, instant movies from Disney Plus. They don't want to take the time and effort to build a relationship and a community and then be part of that community. No. Fucking hell.
As I do need to admit one thing, there was at one point during this entire session of me watching Face Swag's video that I realized it's not about him wanting to feel included. It's not about the fact that Battlefield fans are somehow disrespecting the Call of Duty community. And trust me, there's probably people that actually do feel that way, but I realized that Swag is like the least authentic person to be talking about any of this shit.
Well, all of these people are like not authentic. You see, now what these streamers do is they create a character and play that character on their screens for you, and you all buy it. There's very rarely like a streamer who's just themselves and just plays games and acts normal. There are some, don't get me wrong, but you just don't watch them. They don't bring in the numbers. You just all watch these people who pretend to be people they're not. These guys all these famous Call of Duty streamers, they're not professional gamers, are they? They're not at, like, world professional gaming tournaments winning them. They're not even at them competing, are they? Yet you all think they're the best Call of Duty players. No, they're not. They're the noobs on Facebook. They're not the pros. But you all think they're the pros, and they think they're the pros. They're not the pros. Shroud is a pro. an ex-pro. Right, I'm not a pro. I'm what? Very good, but I'm not a pro. Right, and I can tell you who's hacking, who's not hacking. That video of that male who calls himself a female, that was someone who was hacking. No doubt they were hacking. I've seen loads of people hacking in the beta. The reason there were so many people hacking in the beta, you guys need to understand, is because it was free. And anyone could do it. So what it meant was, all the hackers in the world could log in and test their new scripts and their new code and see what worked and what didn't work for free. They didn't need to buy a game to test out their code. They could do it for free. They could even get other people to test it for them so they didn't run a risk of being found out. So that's why there was so much hacking and glitching going on, because people were trying to work out what they could do because it was free. If you had to pay money for this game and then find out, there wouldn't have been as much hacking, but it would have then taken EA a lot longer to find it and stop it. So it's a good thing in a way, because EA now knows exactly what these hackers are trying to do, how they're trying to do it, and how to stop them. So it was annoying, sure, but I don't think it's going to be the same on release.
Take a look at this clip, and you tell me what your verdict is on this.
Because I can't get any kill streaks or anything like that, I like to go for clips. So basically, I'm not getting any clips by sitting on a flag and capping it. I'm just being honest. I'm not getting any clips by repairing my tank. I don't care. There's not a right way to play the game.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the game being good or about winning fairly. He cares about getting clips to pretend he's better than what he is, to lie to all his followers and subs, and try and make money from it. So he's not a genuine man, is he? He's a liar, is what he is. If you're going to say something that's not true, in the knowledge that it's not true, you're a liar. So he's a liar. He lies to his subs and followers with his videos that he's somehow good. I don't want to be like that. Honestly, watching these people has made me realize I don't want to be like them. I don't want to sit in Battlefield and make clips. I'll make clips from my videos, but I don't want to try and make clips. I just want them to happen. It needs to be natural. These guys will sit there and use cheats and hacks and exploits to create their clips, and then use those cheats, hacks, and exploited clips to sell that as genuine to their followers, who then pay money to watch them. So they're using lies to get money from their followers, alright? That's what these guys are. They're fraudsters, right? They're not real players. They're not gamers. They're little attention-seeking whores, alright? That's what they are. And you're all idiots giving them money. Absolute idiots.
Obviously, you want to win the game, but I'm going to be honest, everybody has a role. In Battlefield, in like any first-person shooter, somebody has to eliminate the other team.
Actually, no. In Conquest, you don't. In Conquest, right, if you took all the flags and the enemy just sat somewhere where you couldn't get them and you couldn't kill them, you'd eventually win the map. It's the same in Rush and Breakthrough, right? You actually don't need to kill them. You just need to take the objectives. You know, in King of the Hill and Domination, Team Deathmatch, sure. Killing the team is part of it. But in Conquest, if you're killing twice as many enemies as your teammates, you're making your team deal with twice as many enemies on the objectives. So you'll have like loads of kill deaths and your team will be doing shit, and you'll think the team's shit, but it's because you fucked over your team. You made them deal with twice as many enemies on the objectives twice as quickly because they were spawning twice as fast because you killed too many people. You guys don't understand Battlefield because you've spent so long in Call of Duty land. You don't understand how it works. So you'll come over to Battlefield and fuck our game up, make a team lose, and yet think you're the boss in the chat when you're not. You're literally the fucking loser.
What the fuck?
This guy is literally coping about not being able to farm clips. Okay, that is his entire basis of his argument. This is the only believable shit that he has said all goddamn video, which is that he can't get clips, therefore he doesn't want to do it. Guess what? This might blow your fucking mind. If you want to do that cringy shit to farm clips...
See, he said cringy there instead of cringe. That was right. How come we can use cringy right or the rest of the time, but he said cringe the other time? That makes no sense.
Guess where you can do it?
Americans.
Oh, guys, wait till you get a look at this. Call of Duty. Let me reiterate this one more time. Look, again, as a Call of Duty player, of course, I also like the high engagement, you know, the high action, high fast-paced bullshit.
For a little while. It gets boring real quick. Thing is, that's the thing. Call of Duty is a good game, right? Has been a good game for many years, but it gets old real quick. And so when they're releasing the same game every year, it's already boring before you bought it. Like, we've already played the new Call of Duty, and they haven't even released it. It's the same movement, the same game, with the same style. It's the same everything, except it looks cartoony now. It's got some funky skins. Like, they're trying to rip you off for a gun being painted red. Like, are you serious? Like, why don't you try improving your game rather than just selling us the same old shit? Because Call of Duty got boring back at the release of Zombie Mode. That's why they released Call of Duty Zombie Mode, because people were bored of Call of Duty. Like, that's how long ago it was when people were bored of it. And you still are trying the same formula. You just need to change it, or Battlefield will take all your customers. It's quite simple.
Truth be told, I enjoy it, but it's a different game. You need to adapt to other playstyles and realize that this is just the game where you just don't do this. It's just not the vibe.
Battlefield is a game where you can be anything. You can be a sniper, you can be a shotgun player, you can be a rocket launcher player, a grenade launcher player, assault rifle, machine gun. You can be any kind of player you want in Battlefield. Whereas in Call of Duty, there's only one style. There's only one way to play in Call of Duty, that's it.
Viable option. The viable option is, yeah, you might have to play as an engineer and stand behind a fucking tank and repair it. Yeah, you might.
Well, you don't have to. But if it's your tank and you're the engineer, it would make it quicker for you to repair it than if you weren't the engineer. So it would make sense if you were using a vehicle and going to repair your own vehicle rather than expect everyone else to do it for you. Like, this is the real world in Battlefield, you know? It's not Call of Duty where everyone, you know, I don't know, it's different. In Battlefield, you work as a team. You revive your teammates. You repair their vehicles. You know, yesterday I was streaming on Battlefield 2042, and sometimes I go past my teammates, and they're in a tank, like an anti-air tank or something like this, and they're on low health. So I'll go past them in my full health vehicle, and I'll smoke. So the enemy can't see them and hit them. So they've got defense. You help each other in Battlefield. You defend each other. You revive each other. You know what I mean? It's a team game. It's a fucking team game.
Might actually have to put down ammo packs and all this other shit and revive your teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you play the fucking game. You guys already know my role in Battlefield 6. Scat Medic Foley. You already know, alright? You've seen my gameplays. You know I'd be reviving my teammates, guys. Come on. Like, even though I'm a Call of Duty player, I know that that's what I'm supposed to do.
Good. You don't have to revive everyone, but at least revive some people.
As that role. If you want to play this kill whore-centric bullshit, play the fucking assault role. And if you're gonna do it...
I do it. It's fucking awesome. Play the assault role. It's fucking awesome, man. I've got a grenade launcher and an incendiary launcher, so it's just... boom, incendiary, boom, grenade, reload, reload, boom, incendiary, boom, grenade, and then just storm in, smoke, smoke. It's fucking awesome, mate. It's fucking awesome. And I don't care if I die for my team. They don't need to revive me. I'll just respawn behind them and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. I don't care. As long as my team wins, I don't care how many times I have to die. That is my job as an assault class on Battlefield. I go head first into the enemy and die so my team can win. That's what you do, alright? You're supposed to live and take out as many as you can, obviously, but you will die. So if you sit there camping with a sniper rifle at the back of the map with an assault class, you're not doing your job, are you? You're just a sad loser, aren't you?
Actually do it right. See, this is the problem with a lot of Call of Duty fans is that they expect to go on to the point and just 1v20 a team.
Dumbass!
I'm sorry, but that's not how shit works, okay? Aim assist is not going to give you 20 free kills in Battlefield 6. This is why majority of these people that are coping and seething about Battlefield 6 not playing like Call of Duty, this is why they fucking...
My highest call streak in the Battlefield 6 beta weekend was 13. You can check that out on my stream. There was no hacking, there was no glitching, there was nothing. I did use a sneaky advantage by getting behind the enemy lines at the start of the map, but I didn't cheat, I didn't exploit anything. I was just smart about it. So you can get like a 20 kill streak if you're good, but not from Call of Duty style. You have to use Battlefield style, which is tactical, alright?
Suck because they play a game that actually requires skill, and because they can't do the skillless shit that you can do in Call of Duty, they assume that means Battlefield 6 is just a bad game, and that's not the case. I'm sorry, but you can't suck balls and be rewarded for sucking balls, alright? SBMM is not gonna hold your hand, aim assist is not gonna hold your hand, grab the fucking toolbox and repair my tank.
Do you know what? I would highly recommend, if you're a Call of Duty player, you know, get yourself one of these. If you play Call of Duty, use one of these, alright? Because if you play Call of Duty, clearly you don't know how to use... Oh, shit.
Battlefield 6 would eventually
clearly
hurt
don't know how to use
all of
a
these
mouse.
Call of Duty coping fanboys. You know, there's like two groups of them. There's one group that can't fathom the fact that Battlefield 6 is highly successful currently. And then there's the other group that thinks, for whatever reason, that if Battlefield 6 doesn't play like Call of Duty, then it won't be good. And I don't know if it's like the lack of brain cells or what, but they just can't understand the fact that they're two different games that play differently and they're supposed to play differently. So try...
Started the video again, my bad. So basically, right, I'm highly recommend Call of Duty players use a controller because there's less recoil. You will be better, okay? Use a controller. You're clearly not good enough to use a mouse. If you can't use like a mouse on Battlefield and you're finding it difficult, play with a controller. Like, we're not going to judge you for it. You'll have better aim. You have an aim assist, at least. I consider the aim assist benefit that controllers get to be hacking. It's aim assist. It's hacking, right? But it's the one hack Battlefield allows. It's the one hack they've created for you to use. So, use a controller, bitches. You clearly can't handle a mouse, alright? You clearly can't handle one of these. So, get yourself one of these and use that. Fucking noobs.
They got no dreams or goals, traveling by the grab the way I want it, don't matter if I'm dancing with the devil, I'm walking off in the pop a lot. If I never...
That's right. FaZe Swag thinks that in order to be a successful game, you need to cater to everybody. As if Call of Duty didn't just try that.
I'm sorry, did Pokemon cater to everyone? Does FIFA cater to everyone? What about Zelda? How about Civilization, Age of Empires? Do you think these games cater to everyone? What about Assassin's Creed? When they started trying to cater to everyone, they got the worst reviews in history. Like, trying to make everyone happy is literally the worst thing you can do in life. Never mind business. Like, I don't like everyone, so I don't expect everyone to like me. And I can't make everyone happy, so what's the point trying? Call of Duty is going to make Call of Duty fans happy, and Battlefield will make Battlefield fans happy. If you're a Call of Duty fan, you're probably not going to like Battlefield. You'll have to play Battlefield and learn and get good. It's a skill issue. What you have is a skill issue. You're not good enough to play Battlefield. You suck, alright?
And then failed miserably. Call of Duty tried catering to a bunch of children and copying Fortnite and doing all of these...
That's exactly what Call of Duty did. They tried to appeal to a bunch of children and ruined their own game. When you've got to understand that Call of Duty is supposed to be an adult game, you aren't supposed to even be able to play Call of Duty as a child, yet they have spent millions and millions of pounds advertising their game to children. They should be shut down. Call of Duty should be shut down. It should be ended. It should be no more. You should not be allowed to advertise adult products to children. Call of Duty is an adult product, and children don't need it. Alright? We don't need 10-year-olds playing Call of Duty, smashing their house up and screaming at their mam or mother because they got teabagged on Call of Duty because they're shit. All right, we don't need that. We don't need that shit. Okay, keep kids off of Call of Duty. Like this fucking swag guy. He's clearly a child. He's clearly a man child. He's not a man. Right? He's a man child. Right? Real men play Battlefield. Boys play Call of Duty, even though they shouldn't legally be allowed.
These cringy ass cosmetics and events and battle passes and fucking crossovers that make no goddamn sense, literally to cater to as many people as humanly possible. And not only have the ratings plummeted, but so has the player count. Guys, do not listen to Face Swag. Any Battlefield 6 developer that comes across this video, hello, salutations, I'm the Scadmaster, nice to meet you, but please, don't listen to this fucking guy, alright? I don't know if he's on the spectrum, I don't know what it is. But
everyone is on the spectrum. Everyone is on the spectrum. I'm sick of hearing this phrase. You just do realise that a spectrum encompasses everything. So there's a spectrum of colours, and it has every colour on it. There's a spectrum of wavelengths. It has every wavelength on. There's a spectrum of light. It has all forms of light on it. Like, everyone is on the spectrum. Everyone. There's not a single person on planet Earth not on the spectrum, because, get this, it's a spectrum. That's how they work. It depends which point you are on the spectrum if you are autistic. So please, if you're going to ask if people are autistic, do it right. Don't do it like a moron.
Do not listen to him, alright? He is spewing bullshit. He only cares about clip farming, and he doesn't know shit about shit in any...
Yeah, see, I don't care about clip farming. I care about winning. You know, if you win 90% of your rounds in an FPS, people would watch you. You don't need to have clips, really. That brings people in, sure. They like to watch it, sure. But people want to watch a winner. They want to watch a winner. They don't want to watch some, loser pretend he's a winner. They want to see someone win and win and win and win, and other people not be able to beat them no matter how hard they try, and then eventually someone beat them. That's what they want to see. That's what people like. They like winning. Winning. Win.
Anything else than Call of Duty and running around with that nasty ass sloppy brain rot that exists in that game. Just don't listen to him, guys. Just be better. Alright? That's it.
Oh, right, yeah. Ice cream.
But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. Do you think Face Swag is based in his take about Battlefield 6 coming from a Call of Duty player? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you...
I think that he has no idea how to play a real man's game. He's really used to... You see, when you play the same game over and over again online, you get stuck in really bad habits. So he's stuck in the habit of farming clips from using exploits and cheats and other things, and from, years of doing the same thing and using those clips to make money. And unfortunately, you have to adapt. You have to evolve. You can't do the same shit forever. Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't doing the same stepovers at 30 he was doing when he was 18, because they stopped working. When you're not as fast as other people, because you get older and you start being slower, and they're then faster than you, you can't just knock the ball past them and sprint past them, because they're faster than you. They'll get the ball. It stops working. When people work out your tricks and your things, it stops working. You have to adapt. You have to evolve. And Battlefield is an ever-adapting, ever-evolving battle between two sides. You're going to have to learn to adapt, or you cannot play the game. You have clearly skill issues. That's what I think of this guy. Skill issues, alright? See you later. Catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.